Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Felicity Saves the Day. Chapter 5. Penny Saves the Day. Felicity did not stop to saddle Penny. She slipped the bridle over Penny's head, led her away from the stable, climbed upon the pasture fence, and swung herself onto Penny's back. Then she leaned forward and whispered to Penny, "This is not going to be easy, Penny, my girl. The footpath will be slippery in the rain, but you must help me find Ben. I know we can do it." The storm grew angrier and the rain fell harder as Penny carried Felicity in the woods. Wet branches waved around them wildly. They looked like green arms warning, "Turn back, turn back." Felicity was blinded by the rain. She leaned over Penny's neck and trusted Penny to find the way. Penny never faltered. Thunder crashed, making Felicity's heart jump. Lightning ripped the sky with sharp, wicked slashes. Through it all, Penny kept an easy canter, though the path was slick. Felicity knew Penny sensed her fear and her urgency, but Penny was calm. It was as if she turned all her willfulness and spirit to one task, helping Felicity find Ben. When they came to Philgate's Creek, Penny jumped over the churning water in one smooth arm. Felicity whispered, "That's my girl. That's my Penny." Then through the rain they rode. Just past the turnoff for Sandy Point, Penny slowed. Felicity looked up and saw Ben scrambling in the woods, trying to hide. "Ben, stop," she cried. "It's me." Ben turned. "Felicity," he gasped as Penny came toward him. "Why are you here?" "Listen to me, Ben," said Felicity. She took a deep breath and then spilled the whole story in a rush. "When I got back to Grandfather's, 2 men were there. They had seen Father's note in the newspaper. They are after you for the reward. They said they'd be rough with you, and I believe them. They are on their way to Yorktown now. They are going straight to the ferry, so they would be sure to catch you and probably beat you and drag you back." Felicity turned toward Ben. "Can't you see how dangerous and foolish this running away is, Ben? Wouldn't you rather face Father than those 2 men? Come back with me now. Come back, please." Ben shook his head. "I can't," he said. "That would be cowardly." Felicity was furious. She said just what she thought Grandfather would say. "You are a coward, Ben Davidson," she said. "It's cowardly to run away, to break promises, and to hurt those who need and trust you. Now, will you come back?" Ben was quiet. He put his hand on Penny's neck. She did not shy away. Then Ben said, "Will Penny let me ride her?" Felicity smiled. "She will if I asked her to," she said. "Indeed," Ben grinned. "It is hard to refuse you, Felicity Merriman." The wind had calmed, and the raining was falling more gently as Penny carried Felicity and Ben back through the woods. It was as if the storm had worn itself out with its fury and was tired now and weepy. Felicity was tired too. She thought Penny would be as well, though the horse walked at a steady pace. Felicity patted Penny's neck. What a fine, brave horse she was. Felicity had to leave behind her tiredness and gather all the bravery she could muster when she led Ben into the parlor to face Mother and Grandfather. Grandfather's face went white with anger when he saw Ben. His gray eyes were hard as gunmetal. He said nothing, but Mother stood and smiled a small smile. "Ben," she said, I'm so glad you're here. Ben has decided not to run away. He's been hunting in the woods by the river. I've been helping him. I'm sorry, I knew it was wrong, but I had to. Today I showed him the footpath to Yorktown. Then those men came, and I was afraid they would hurt Ben, so I followed him, and..." Ben spoke up. "Felicity convinced me not to go," she said. "She brought me back." She glanced at Grandfather and then said to Mother, "I am very sorry I ran away." "Aye, indeed," said Mother quickly. "We all have time for apologies when Merriman comes, but now I dare say 'twould be best for both of you to find dry clothes. Come with me." They were almost out of the door when Grandfather called, "Felicity!" Felicity turned around. "Yes, Grandfather?" she asked. "The lad said 'twas you who convinced him to come back," she said. "I'm curious. How would you do it?" Well, said Felicity. She thought back over the thing she said to Ben. Then she remembered who had convinced him to change his mind. I just said to him exactly what I thought you would have said, grandfather. Humph, said grandfather. Did you indeed? He almost smiled. Go along then, he said. You're wet as if you jumped in the river. After an early supper, Felicity went to her bedchamber. She lay in the bed listening to the night music the crickets and frogs made. A warm wind blew the soothing murmur of the river. The storm had been violent, but like most violent storms, it was short. It left the air washed clean and sweet. Felicity fell asleep, worn out by her adventures. When father arrived in the morning, Felicity was at breakfast. Ben was still asleep, and mother said not to wake him. So Felicity led father to the stable to visit Penny. Father, Felicity said, I was wrong to help Ben run away and not to tell anybody, and I'm sorry, but I had to keep his secret. She said, because Ben kept my secret about Penny lost on him. I understand, said father. He looked at Penny. Penny is a beautiful horse. You're glad to have me back, aren't you, Lissy? Aye, said Felicity. She hugged Penny. I am glad she is safe from the likes of Mr. Nye. Everyone is safe from Jiggy Nye for the present, said father. When I left Williamsburg, Jiggy Nye was in jail. Father looked at Felicity. You'll miss Penny when you leave to go back to Williamsburg, won't you? Aye, said Felicity again slowly. But it won't be as bad as before when I helped Penny run away and I didn't know whether I'd see her again. But I know where she is now. You know she's safe, agreed father. Maybe that'll make it easier to say goodbye. But he said, I'm afraid it's never easy to say goodbye to friends we love. No, said Felicity. But sometimes saying goodbye isn't the end of the friendship. I said goodbye to Penny when I let her go, but she came back. That she did, agreed father. Felicity looked at him very seriously. I've been thinking about Ben, she said. You could let him go be a soldier, father. The fighting won't last forever. You could trust Ben to come back to you when the fighting is over. I know you could trust him. Father did not answer, but Felicity knew he was thinking about what she said. In a little while, Ben appeared in the door of the stable. I have come to apologize, Mr. Merriman, said Ben. I'm sorry, 'twas wrong to run away. I mean, no disrespect to you, sir. You have always treated me well and fairly. Ben squared his shoulders. I do want to be a soldier. Mr. Merriman stared at Ben for a while. Then he said, Ben, I will not allow you to break your apprenticeship agreement with me. You are but 16. You are pledged to me for 3 more years. I expect you to give me 3 years of more years of service. Ben nodded sadly. Mr. Merriman went on slowly. But in a little more than a year you will be 18. If at that time you wish to be a soldier, and if there is such a thing as the Patriots' Army, I will let you go. But you must understand you will come back and finish out your service when your days of being a soldier are over. Does that seem fair to you? Ben's face brightened. Yes, sir, he said. Thank you. Father smiled at Felicity and then turned to shake Ben's hand. Good lad, he said. I know I can trust you. Aye, sir, said Ben. You can. All too soon, the sad day came when Felicity and her family had to return to Williamsburg. The last morning, Felicity and grandfather rode out to see the sunrise together one more time. Felicity watched a heart branch bobbing through the river. It sailed by, carried on the current, and soon disappeared from sight to the sea. Grandfather watched it too. Felicity, grandfather said, the world is changing. 'Tis changing too fast for an old man like me to keep up with it. He smiled at Felicity. But how can I mind growing older when I can watch you growing up becoming a fine young lady, full of strength and wisdom and love? And grandfather chuckled. Indeed, many things are too fast for an old man like me, he said, especially that horse of yours. What am I to do with such a fast horse? I can't catch her, and she wouldn't let me ride her even if I catch her. I think you better take William. I think you better take Penny back to Williamsburg with you. Your father tells me that Jiggy and I is in jail, so she will be safe. Will you take good care of Penny for me? Oh, yes, grandfather, exclaimed Felicity. Thank you, I will. Truly, I will. Felicity was trembling. She was so happy. Very well, said Grandfather. He gathered up the reins. Come along, you've got a great deal to say goodbye this morning. Felicity gave Penny a quick hug. Then she gathered her reins too and followed her grandfather to the fields. The plantation had never looked more lovely, but Felicity could only think of one thing. Penny was going home with her. After breakfast, there were many hugs, kisses, thank yous, and goodbyes. Mother Nan and Ben and William climbed the carriage. Father and Felicity rode beside them on their horses. Felicity sat tall and proud on Penny's back. She wished she could gallop all the way to Williamsburg. She couldn't wait to show Penny to Elizabeth, but just as they had reached the end of the lane, Felicity stopped. She turned around and looked back. Grandfather was standing on the steps of his house, his arm still raised to wave farewell. He looked very small, almost lost in the shadow of the trees. Wait for me, Father, said Felicity. She urged Penny to a fast canter and rode back to Grandfather. When she reached back to him, Felicity jumped off Penny and ran to give Grandfather one last hug. Felicity climbed back on Penny and hurried to join her family. She felt a sweet sadness at leaving Grandfather and his place that was so dear to her, but she rode on into the sunshine ahead. And that's the end of Felicity Saves today. Thanks for listening.